There's this saying from this eccentric filmmaker, whom I personally know as well, and he said, and I quote, that filmmakers are crazy people. And after shooting my documentary, I realized that this is actually quite true. Yes, that documentary that took me away from you guys. The documentary that made me go on a hiatus. So before we get to it, let's roll the intro. That shot was cool, right? Want to learn how to do it? Oh, you're able to see this because it's not in the final cut of the documentary, so yeah, you wouldn't see it once the documentary comes out, but you'll see it here. As a fellow filmmaker, as I venture into this path, I realized that there are times where I really want to get certain shots. And this specific shot was only made possible with a gimbal, a camera, and a cameraman running carefully out into the busy street in order to get that shot. I won't name who that crazy director of photography is, but you know. Yes, it's dangerous, it's crazy, it's silly, but the past is in the past. The past is in the past, let it go. Hey, that actually sounds quite nice. Yes, so I ran into the streets carefully. Don't do this at home. Don't try this at home. If you do, don't say I teach you. Yeah, so I did what I did and I managed to get everything in one take. Filmmakers sometimes try to get like specific shots or are so invested in the project that sometimes they forget about their hygiene. Sometimes they let facial hair grow. Basically, they don't really care about their appearance as much. Like when I'm on set, either being behind the scenes or extras for other bigger projects. Most of the filmmakers behind the scenes always dressed up really poorly. Not because they don't want to look cool. Actually, there's no point in looking cool because no one will want to take a picture of you. It's not about you, it's about your product. It's about the story you want to tell. That is why that we don't really care about our own appearance. We just want to get our story told. We just want to get what we want to say out there. Like this video, there's something I want to say, there's something I want to tell. There's something I want to share, and it is why I'm making this video for you guys to watch. By the way, bonus fact, I'm trying out a new camera. Of course it's not mine, I borrowed it. And I'll make a new video about this as well. Hope the autofocus doesn't go crazy. That's the hint. Furthermore, as filmmakers, there are times that we even neglect sleep. And sometimes not having the opportunity to sleep for a few days can make us like really grumpy. And I've experienced that, of course. Sorry, crew, if I was harsh on you guys, but yeah. The lack of sleep doesn't really happen so much during production. Pre-production maybe, but especially in post-production. During the editing phase, especially for the directors and the editors. Seriously, not the whole crew. Please don't force the whole crew to stay up late just to wait for me, man. Which I guess also brings me to the main reason why I also want to make this video for you guys to watch as well. Is because of the things that happened when I filmed my documentary. Of course, we were able to get as many shots as possible, many of them really cinematic. But of course, there are times that we are so focused on trying to get the shots that we neglect safety. Like there was one shot we tried actually sitting and standing behind a pickup truck in order to get the shot we wanted. Like a follow shot of a car, but it didn't work out. It didn't make it into the final cut, but it was an experience, of course. Wasn't really bad. Of course, not recommendable. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, don't try it at home. But if you do, say yes, correct. If you reacted to it, good for you. If you didn't, yes, we were so focused on getting shots that we forget about safety, we forget about so many other things, we forget about lunch time, we forget about meal times basically. We forget our sleep hours, we stay out a bit late at night. And because I was also someone who is very impromptu when it comes to cinematography, I don't really plan my shots beforehand because God knows what's gonna happen, and that's kind of true when it comes to documentary. That there are many things that you might not expect to happen during shoot times, but you have to keep the camera rolling because you need the camera to be able to capture the memories, the exact moment, the gold, that split second, and if you don't capture it, it's gone. And yes, to avoid that, most of the time, most of the shots in the documentary was kind of impromptu, and we didn't really document anything after the shoot, which was one of the mistakes we did. Not only the B-roll, we didn't document it, we didn't transcribe the interviews, which was really bad. If you're doing a documentary next time, make sure you transcribe the interviews. It's really important. Do not transcribe it like after you shot every single thing, like don't ever transcribe anything, like any interviews after production. Like in our case, we actually have only a 2-week deadline, and it was like, oh my god, how many sleepless nights was that? Just to transcribe interviews that last about 20 minutes long, some even up to a few hours. Because transcribing is really a pain in the ass. And yes, a lot of people who have done documentaries probably experience the same thing as well. Like sometimes some words the interviewee says are quite hard to understand, and you have to watch it quite a few times to get every single word right. But actually it helps in post-production, really. Tip, when you shoot a documentary, transcribe, because it saves so much time for the editor, because he doesn't have to watch the footage over and over again just to figure out the specific words the director actually wants for the piece, for the final cut. Because with words that are probably written on paper, typed and then printed on paper, you can actually mark it down with time code as well, so you know where to actually find the clip, and it saves basically organization when it comes to editing. Saves a lot of time. So tip number 2, no matter what you're shooting, be it a documentary or a short film or a feature film, make sure you organize your footage as well. There are many YouTubers who share this as well, like how to organize, like Maddie Apoya. I could link his video in the description. And like he said, it's boring! But yeah, you have to do it because otherwise you're screwed. The next lesson I've learned is that be cautious of the amount of responsibilities you actually take. It can get pretty tiring because I'm the editor, I'm the DOP, I'm also the driver. Wow, that was really tiring. And it doesn't only apply to filmmaking as well. Don't try to bite off more than one can chew, because once you have too many responsibilities on your plate, you have to worry about fulfilling all these responsibilities. You are worried that you might let people down, and then once you fail to achieve either one or all of those responsibilities that you have promised, then you will be a letdown, which is actually quite sad, I guess. It happens all the time. I'm not the only one who feels the same way. Like, I'm pretty sure many of you guys have probably had some similar experiences as well. Sometimes taking on too many responsibilities can actually result in that. But of course, it's not saying that avoid all responsibilities so that won't happen. But yeah, know that how much you can chew, like how much you can contain. Like probably if you can only take up 1 or 2 rows, just take up 1 or 2 rows. It's okay to sometimes want to take more rows, but of course be aware of the fact that it can get very tiring. And it's true, no one wants to be a letdown, but sometimes these things happen and you have to accept it, and of course do your best not to have it recur again. This is the first time I've been talking so long. It's like I'm letting out everything to you, and you, and I feel that actually this is the first time I'm actually more accepting to my own self, and I just want to let you really know who I really am, because if you can tell, actually my accent is shifting between the very British American accent and my normal Malaysian accent when I talk with my friends. It's cringy. But yeah, I have this accent developed when I was in high school, when I was in secondary school. Back then I was very influenced by cartoons from America, mostly in America, like Ben 10. That's how I got Ben. Fun fact. I was really influenced by American pop culture, and which is how I developed this false accent, which sometimes becomes a part of me. Doesn't always happen, but when I get comfortable with people, usually my accent is a bit more like that lah. So who knows? We will still be a mixture of a very Western accent with a Malaysian accent. Who knows? Of course, tell me in the comments below that if you prefer me with a more Western accent, or just stick to my Malaysian accent. Or have both, depending on the situation. Actually, it works. I would probably go with both, but who knows? Well, as a fellow filmmaker, I guess I'm still crazy, right? Because I'm talking to a camera. But of course, you guys will be watching it, of course. And in a way, I'll still be talking to an audience. But yeah, before it actually gets to an audience, before it actually gets to you guys, it's actually just me and the camera. It's me sharing my thoughts that people deem normal in the society usually tend to keep inside and not let it go. Let it go! Jokes aside, but by the way, I changed the battery. This camera dies fast. It's like only 1.5 hours of filming and it's already dead. I have to change the battery. Tip number 2. Yeah, this video actually took quite an unexpected turn, because at first I just want to talk about filmmakers are crazy, just talk about a few nice cool shots that I thought it was gonna be short, but I guess I ended up opening up to you guys. Like, I don't really want to care about the barrier that is preventing me from telling my story to the world. In this case, specific people. I just want to share my story. I just want to tell a story, which was why I actually take this path as a filmmaker. Yes, I might not make any money out of it. I'll probably be a homeless person. I really look like one anyway. But yeah, I probably wouldn't make much of a living, but I would still choose this path because it's me. It allows me to express. Because for the past 20 years, I've been oppressed by specific people from voicing out. And because I couldn't voice out, my alternative would have been writing, like the books I've shared in the previous video. But that didn't work out either because the books got torn, man, wow. But I still continue writing until it got hectic. Like, I didn't have much time to write. I was more focused with studying to impress a certain girl. Damn, those guys who know who it is, you guys, For those who don't know, I wouldn't say it on camera, because I have to protect the person's privacy as well. Yeah, I stopped writing and then ended up trying to study hard, trying to actually venture down computer science or engineering so I could make a decent enough living that can probably pay high enough for me to sustain 2 people or a family. And I did my best for 5 years to win her heart. It did not succeed, but it was a learning experience. And I was down for next year after I graduated from high school and enter college. I was still clinging to those feelings, and I've picked up the guitar and I started writing songs. And by then, which was pretty much the time I actually started this YouTube channel. That was like 2 years ago. And yes, my first song was pretty much dedicated to that situation. If you have watched my first MV, official MV, man, the sound sucks. It's like someone who's trying to be a musician who has like zero knowledge in music making, trying to make a music. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, because I don't know, the sound sounds like shit. I only recorded it like in this room, locked with the doors locked, with windows locked, and with only my phone's microphone, and it sucks. The sound quality is so bad, but I have no choice. I did not have any experience. Like, so many things I actually wanted to do. I actually wanted to start YouTubing, making videos when I was 13, but of course didn't work out because I didn't have connections. I didn't know how to upload a video back then. I didn't know how to use cameras. I don't have any sort of equipment that could help me to express, because I was so oppressed from voicing out. I was so forced to be only looking at a certain direction, which is in actually a lot of Asian mindsets, which is the science direction. Don't look at the creative side because it's a bad idea. But after studying in A-levels, I realized I couldn't cope with studying. At first I thought it was an easy way out because SPM was 100% exam based, so is A-levels. I thought that I survived SPM, that I could survive A-levels as well. But nah. Halfway through, I started this channel because I was so fed up with studying. Basically, I was just opening my book and just staring at it. Nothing came in, I swear. And I didn't want to waste time because I was learning nothing. Because I didn't really liked what I studied. The teachers were great, by the way. They were really helpful. But it's just me. I couldn't deal with it. It wasn't my cup of tea. And I started making videos to kill time, which then I found that I actually could use this platform to voice out, which was pretty much the beginning of everything, I guess. This channel started everything. This channel changed my whole life. You guys changed my whole life. I mean, yes, it's still small right now, just slightly past 100, but I guess it's fine. I just want to share. It doesn't matter if I don't make anything out of this video. Like, back then there was still a part of me who wants to do this full time and was so focused with the monetization and was so frustrated when the adpocalypse happened twice. In British, this is offensive. Twice. Yet right now I feel that it doesn't really matter when it comes to monetization. I could basically earn money anywhere, like being an extra for a film, do some work, commercial work with a few of my friends. They don't earn as much, of course, because I'm only a student. I'm still a student. I am still quite amateur when it comes to a lot of these things. I'm still learning, I still have a long way to go. But come to think of it, once I become a pro, I still learn every day. Everyone learns every day. I'm learning something every day. You're learning something about me every day. If you're wondering, I'm not opening a Patreon page because I don't think anyone would want to, you know, donate money to me. Come on, it's hard-earned cash. Who would want to send it to me? I'm not some famous content creator yet. Getting there, but as of right now, I don't think it's a good idea to set up a page, a Patreon page. So I'll still do YouTube, even though not as frequent sometimes, depending on my schedule. But I'll do my best to upload as frequently as I can. I'm doing my best to stick to a video a week. Worst case scenario, a video a fortnight. Hopefully not 2 months like what happened. But yeah, when assignments come, it can get pretty hectic. It's sem break right now, so I can upload a bit more frequently, and I hope I could keep on pushing out content as frequent as I can. So I guess that's it for today. It's quite late actually, and I still have a shoot tomorrow, man. But at least I get to test out this camera. Of course, I still have to edit it. I still have to see if the footage works. Cause I'm actually recording in log format, hit number 3. And also after the shoot tomorrow and on Tuesday, I'll probably have a sort of good comparison that I could recommend for filmmakers or content creators who are starting out like me. It definitely won't be a comparison of like high-end cinema cameras or whatever must-get prosumer items. It'll be focused more on people like me. People who are starting out, people who just want to create content, who are starting out to create content, to use this platform to speak up. So before I end, recap. Tip number 1, no matter whatever shoot, safety first. 2, make sure you plan, like, since pre-production, production and post-production, make sure you plan as much as you can. 3, transcribe footage. It's gonna be really a pain in the ass when it comes to interviews for documentaries. 4, always organize footage before you edit. Oh yeah, I just remembered. 5, make sure you always set the date of your camera correctly, because oh my god, why? It helps the editor a lot. And about the story of my life, there's no need to recap. You can just watch it again. Watch time. So I guess let's call it a day. If you like this video, don't forget to slam the like button and remember to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the other videos as well, and see you next time. I just gave myself a hard time to edit this video.